totally forgot that even though I used the motion to turn on the video, that the video was coming on. So we're just going to go with it. I was putting on some lip gloss. It's been a weird energy day already. I don't know if anyone else has been feeling that, whatever time you're watching this. So I am going to be grounding myself. I'm going to relight the candle in front of the obsidian mirror. Just another tool that I have been using. Mostly I use just whatever's coming into my mind. But I like to play just like with my makeup and my nails when I do them. It's been a while. And so we're going to see. I don't even remember if I said I'm Rebecca. And yes, Empathic Crow is technically a business, but the videos I bring to you here are general readings, and they are offered with no request for anything other than if you feel called to like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever, please do. It helps to grow the channel. It helps the messages get where they need to go. I keep this aspect because I want to be able to have the messages get to where they need to go and get to more people. And then I have the business because, well, you can't just do videos for free all the time. And also I want to do the more personalized messages too, because those are always so interesting. And it's such an honor to be able to do them, because seeing somebody have that moment of clarity or realization, or when spirit brings forward a message, especially those spirit connections, and you just see this emotion and you feel it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so if I can help people, and yes, I still got to live, and I can bring those two together, then that makes me happy. Kind of finding my rhythm here. So I'm pretty eclectic in general, but the things that do tend to stay the same is that I usually will have at least one tarot deck for the reading and at least one or two oracle decks. So Light Seer's Tarot is coming to me for this one. The Sign of the Times by Crystal Banner Oracle and The Secrets of the Ancestors by Abiola Abrams are the oracles that are coming to me. The stones are also something that will just always and have always been. If you look back even a year ago, and before the business, I just started doing the videos and recordings as like a hobby, or hey, I want to do this stuff, and this is my way to start stepping outside of the box of social norms and standards and whatnot. Pink amethyst is one of the stones coming in for this reading. And also there's something with this little like keyhole, not sure why I said that. Don't mind me. But hidey hole or corridor was the other word that was coming in. There's something about that. But with the pink amethyst, the cinnabar, and the pink tourmaline, definitely picking up some vibes of heart chakra energy, of self-love, forgiveness. That's forgiveness of yourself and others, and healing in general. And then also my purple agate, which actually is chalcedony. You can see that smooth and shine, but it is called purple agate. That was coming through too, and especially in this form where it's pointing up. We're looking at third eye and crown connection here. So it's kind of balancing that heart and mind connection. Also that connection to the divine, because I feel like somebody has been, similar to a reading I did not too long ago, like closing themselves off. The strength card when I was shuffling, so all these decks are pre-shuffled. I'm trying to take the shuffling out as much as I can. Can't say I won't do it, to cut down on some of the length and also things that people may not want to see as much. I'm still going to be me. But I love the imagery of that, and it felt appropriate or necessary for this reading, because we're talking about taming and balancing that inner lion and also that lamb. So it's kind of having confidence and knowing that you don't have to present as meek. You don't have to present as like aggressive and strong and all the time. It's just you being you and just navigating things. I'm seeing the temperance card coming into mind as well. So finding that balance and also having a little patience, because part of healing is having patience with yourself. Sometimes it comes in through song. So the song that was coming in my head when I was getting ready for this reading was Stay by Rihanna, especially the part where it's round and around and around and around we go. Oh, now tell me now, tell me now, tell me now, you know. And then where it goes on to not really sure how I feel about this. So for one of you, I just moved my hand and it flipped a card, but it makes sense. I was about to say for at least one of you or people that this reading is connecting with, because this is out to the collective, general message, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Private reads are definitely more accurate, but any guidance, suggestions, encouragement, things like that are surrounded or are meant for potential and possibility. Future is always potential and possibility. But I was talking about the round and around and around we go. And Two of Pentacles is what I flipped out with my hand. So in this deck with the Two of Pentacles, it's not the juggler juggling things, but she has this pouch up here that looks kind of like a moon. And then we've also got this red one. So I'm seeing like grounded, but also, again, that outside connection. There's a lot of things that are coming to light, coming into play. Did not put my phone in do not disturb or airplane mode. There's also some orange with the sacral chakra. So I feel like this is you allowing yourself to be seen, but it's not just to be seen. This is allowing your heart to be seen while feeling grounded and just being yourself. And I see, like, even with her having the black and red up here and then the sacral chakra here, it's almost like a reverse of, instead of feeling like you have to be grounded all the time, that you can, and I'm wearing a black shirt too. That's hilarious. And red and black on my jewelry. Okay, that's interesting. So it's being grounded and playful at the same time. And I feel like with this being the skirt and it's flowing, knowing that you don't have to fully suppress it. Even if you're grounded, even if you're presenting as professional or that you have to be in a certain way. This has been kind of a theme lately, to be honest. That you can have some of that flair. You don't have to just diminish yourself for the comfort of others or to attract the people that are meant for you. Whether that's romantic relationships or anything like that, or even your work, your jobs, because we're talking about pentacles here. So even the way that you make money, knowing that there's not any one way, but definitely bringing in your passion and allowing yourself to exist. Like, I'm seeing the orange in her skirt, and then that necklace that's in the strength card always reminds me of carnelian, sacral chakra. So yeah, getting really just a bit more playful. Like, you can still do the things that make you feel comfortable in whatever structures you're in, but just really being more of yourself. So with that stay, one of the things that I was seeing when it was coming into my head was not necessarily a relationship, which is why I said maybe relationships with others, friends, but I feel like this is more about the self-healing, about being able to say, I want you to stay, as in you. If there's a part of yourself, if you're watching this reading and it's meant for you, this is true. And I feel like that's why the strength card was coming out. So if there are parts of yourself that you feel like you've pushed down and you've hidden, like you're keeping that black, that grounding, that more acceptable, whatever it is, presentation of yourself, that it's okay for you to bring that out. And I'm looking down, two cards that come out. The one that's facing up is the star card. And notice she is connected by a tether. So she's still grounded. She's sitting on the ground and she still has this string, this tether, this tie that helps her to stay connected. She's not losing herself as she looks up at the stars, as she looks up at this burst of light. She is still herself. And actually, even in her clothing, she is colorful. She's not feeling like she has to hide herself. So there are parts of yourself that you may have tried to kind of only show in front of certain people. Like, I was going to say push down, but that's not it. Like, you let your personality come out with some people, but not everyone, and that's okay. But I feel like you're being called to let it come out more, and that's a little scary sometimes. Notice the contrast between these two cards. Like this one, there's some pops of color, but at the same time, the colors are in the same color scheme. You know, we've got this kind of orangey red, the peachy color, and then the black stark against it, but it's still like a mild color scheme. I don't know why mild is a word coming in. If you've been called mild-mannered, but you feel like this is actually what's inside. And knowing that you can have, again, both within. There's a duality. It's not that you have to be this mild-mannered person, but it's also not that you have to be this way out there person. You can be both. And so part of that healing is you being able to heal the parts, the thoughts, the emotions within you that made you feel like you had to hide who you are or hide aspects of yourself, that you don't have to do that. I don't remember if I had shown this or not, because this was one of the last stones that I picked up. I don't think I did. It's a unicorn stone, and it's in a flame shape, and it's tiny, but it just kept catching my eye just now, because this is kind of what I'm talking about, that you're a unicorn. You don't have to be like everyone else. You're unique, and that's okay. And it's letting that uniqueness come out and shine. We got that flame, letting it shine. But you don't have to do it in a big, hey world, here I am kind of way. It can be a smaller way, but it's still accepting and embracing you and not allowing yourself to feel bad about the time that you didn't fully just embrace it. Like, there may be a grief over that time, and it's also an adjustment, but it's okay. You can feel all those emotions and know that each of them are valid, and it's okay. I do not reverse my cards, but this is the card that came out facing down. This is the Seven of Pentacles, and it is in reverse. So I feel like this is you trying to, again, push down some of that growth. Like, it's coming, but it feels uncomfortable. And so I'm seeing somebody like at the edge of the water, and they're trying to decide if it's too cold to go in or if they want to go in. And so they're going and dipping their toe in, and they're not sure, and pulling it out and shaking it like, I don't know, maybe not today. And so that's the energy that I'm getting, is it's like you've tried to put pieces and parts of you out that you're not sure how others, especially people who have known you for so long, are going to feel about it. And so you're kind of like growing it, but it's in the dark is what I'm seeing. Like, there's a lot of darkness right here, even though there's colors. Like, I still see this as the colors within you, those aspects of your personality within you, they're wanting to come out. But right now, you're still just kind of like playing with the idea. You're not sure. And notice that both of these people have on a black shirt. So I feel like it's kind of like you're getting playful, but it's also muted. I still think it's funny. I don't often wear just black, but this shirt is so fuzzy and comfortable, but it does pick up a lot of dog hair. And so it's interesting that I matched the energy of those two cards without meaning to. All right, so the card that flipped out of the deck as I was doing that is the Death card. All right, so the Death card, we have the Infinity and Rebirth, and that's 13, which is 4. So 5 is kind of the change. 4 is, I say, it's kind of like that contemplative state. So again, that image of somebody just kind of dipping their toe into the water, like this isn't growing yet. You're still kind of like keeping it in the dark. You're considering it and getting there. Even with the Star card, I'm seeing her face right now as like longingly looking up at the stars and things. And so, oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups. It's like, I kind of want this. Like, notice her face is down, and it's almost like, okay, I'm kind of getting out of the box a little bit. I'm being a little bit playful, but I've also got to keep that balance, right? And so with the Death card, it's not something to fear. It doesn't typically mean a literal death, and you'll hear me say that a lot, but notice this red, it's getting grounded, but also with this particular version from the Chris Ann deck, you have this beautiful scene with these trees, this light coming up in the background. It's understanding that there are possibilities, and you're starting to see some of those possibilities. But in order for you to get those possibilities, whatever is in the past, it has to be put to rest, is what I'm hearing. Like it's not even necessarily that it has to die, like you have to completely squash it out, but it has to be put to rest. It has to be put in the past. You have to allow it to be part of the past, to know that it's always there. It's still a part of you. It's something that happened to you. And it doesn't mean that you fully have to let it go. But if it's holding you back from these possibilities and potentials that you're wanting and you're needing right now, you cannot move forward until you let it go. And notice that, again, all the colors that are coming through in these cards, like you have this image, but there's all this color. There is still this little wisp of dark here, and that's because when we do that shadow work, when we do things to forgive ourselves, forgive others, heal our hearts, heal our wounds, things like that, release those emotional imprints, there is some things that feel very dark or heavy or difficult that we have to move through. And it's not a bad thing. Sometimes we have to embrace those shadows, because the shadows are part of what help us to grow. It's part of what helps us to have those lessons. I'm not saying that I wish for people to go through difficult things. I'm not telling you my life story, but I have been through so many things that I think about them now because I've kind of dealt with them, and when I deal with it, I move on. Not to say they don't come back up, because they will. These things do not just stay, they do not just stay planted. They will come back up at some point when you're triggered and feeling vulnerable, but sometimes we don't even realize how many things we've been through, we've survived through, we've moved through. And I'm not trying to bring it to myself, but just to say that when you've been able to move through things, they're still there, but it's sometimes even difficult to recall what it felt like unless you bring it to the forefront and you're focused on those memories and emotions. So in order to move forward and to be able to focus and be in the moment with what it is that you want now, some of those things do need to fall back into the past. And understanding that even if they come to you in emotions or anything in the future, it doesn't mean you're not strong. It means that you're balancing those emotions. You're not just suppressing them. You're acknowledging that they're there. You're allowing yourself to reflect on them a little bit if you need to, but you're not staying stuck. And those are the main things. All right, anything else? Actually, let's switch the direction here, because we've already got the where are we at, what would be helpful, as far, or what do we need in order to move forward. So let's focus on how you're doing this. How are you making this change? How are you allowing yourself to shine more? I love the cards that I'm seeing upright. We're going to take this one that fell. Okay, so the Empress, and I think I had switched her around. I don't reverse my cards. I read them energetically. I'm an intuitive reader, so if it feels like it should be reversed, it will. But I said, you know, how do you be more of yourself? How do you allow yourself to shine? And the Empress came out, and so this is you. Like, notice this right here. To me, it always looks like water and waves. So it's being able to not carry these emotions, that water is emotions, on your back like it's a weight, but to be able to have it like it's kind of a cloak. Like, this is something that I have, and it's something that happened, but I'm not going to let it weigh me down. It's just a part of me. It's just something that I have with me. And also that you're growing into those possibilities. Like, you're creating those possibilities. You're allowing yourself to plant the seeds and let things grow. The seeds have already actually been planted. That's what we're seeing. But you're allowing them to grow. You're nurturing yourself now. And part of that is going to be this root chakra getting grounded, going into this more orangey color of the sacral chakra. So allowing yourself to feel the joy, the passion, the creativity, And then with the yellow, letting go of those anxieties. Notice that up here we have a moon, but it also has these little dots around it. So in the camera, it looks like a moon and a sun at the same time. And again, I feel like that's calling us to look at balancing those aspects and knowing that those things that were hidden with these little lights or dots, we're illuminating them now. And you being able to decide what it is that you want to share, what you don't. And notice her face. It's you softening a bit, because here we're a bit constricted. We're not showing the face. We're not showing the emotion. Whereas here it's just, I'm here. Same with this confidence of the strength card. It's just a quiet knowing and understanding that this is me. This is who I am. All right, the next card we have is the Four of Pentacles. And so with the Four of Pentacles, yes, it can be money, but it's also often holding on too tightly. So if you hold on too tightly to the past and the things that have happened in the past, it's going to be really hard to grow and to move forward. So part of what you need that nurturing. You need to let go of the things that you've been holding on to so tightly. And it's going to feel uncomfortable. It is completely going to feel uncomfortable. And I love how this Nine of Cups, that is the next card that came out, looks so much like the Fool, the energy of the Fool, that leap of faith. It also, with the colors, especially in the camera where I'm not looking at it so closely, but even looking at it closely, this reminds me of Joy from Inside Out, because you got that blue hair and the yellow. So, and then we've got the yellow behind it. Like, this is joy. The Nine of Cups, allowing yourself to lean into those joyful emotions, allowing yourself to not feel like you're stifling yourself. You're stifling that joy. You're trying to be playful and creative, but you're kind of pushing it down. But this is just leaning into it and saying, you know what? I have a right to be joyful. I have a right to feel good about myself and the things that I do, even if other people don't understand them or they don't like them. And that is okay. Notice the treasure chest that is down here underneath her. Like, that abundance comes in, not just in monetary value, but in the abundance of confidence and contentment, peace, just self-worth, like you being yourself, that authenticity, all of that is abundance and something to treasure. And notice the radiating light coming out of her heart chakra. Like, this is just full self-acceptance, full self-acceptance. So this is beautiful so far. I'm going to move the cards over a little bit because I have condensed my space some. And I feel like from the tarot, unless we come back to it at some point, this is, you know, pretty much a really good base for the tarot. So we're going to take the Light Seer's Tarot and we are going to move it over to my other desk. And we are going to move on to the Signs of the Times. Now these cards, luckily I've pre-shuffled them because they do mess with my eyes when I shuffle them. But I love the deck. Signs of the Times by Crystal Banner. All right, so we've already got a really good baseline here. So with the Signs of the Times, let's see, what is coming forward? What are some signs to look out for? What are the things that are signs that you're on the right path? I like that. The signs that you're on the right path. And just keep in mind, even if you don't see all of these signs and symbols and things, it doesn't mean you're not on the right path. These are just some help of confirmation of some things. So let's see. I saw a number and I lost it, but that's okay. So 36, which breaks down to a 9. We've got power lines, energy. So you may see power lines everywhere. That may not be I don't feel like that's the like literal symbol. It may be for you, but I feel like this energy part is what we're looking for. That the sign and symbol is that when you step into being more authentic and you're not having to waste so much energy on trying to decide how to fit in, what is expected of you, what other people want, how should you dress, should you wear black instead of color, should you do this, should you do that, you are going to have more energy. So maybe numbers 3, 6, or 9 are a sign for you, but also the energy, just that you feel more energetic, you feel less constrained, And notice down here, like there's a haze over top of the city. And these power lines, yes, they're there and they're these dominant structures, but they have this beautiful cotton candy looking sunset behind it. Or when I lived in London, candy floss. That's not how they say it. I'm just being silly right now. But that's the energy that's coming through. Like just being playful. I know I kind of was like, but that's because I'm on camera. And I don't want to offend anyone. But that's still me going against what I'm telling you to do. So that's what I say. Don't like see it as advice or that I'm telling you to do something. I'm encouraging, and I also am encouraging myself. I am not perfect. I'm just being me a little bit more. So it's finding that balance even. That's what I'm trying to say. That balance between the stark structures and the things that you hold on to because it is helpful in some ways. And then also that playfulness. I'm seeing that star card. Like you don't even have to be as bright as this, but just that you're letting some of that color out and you're letting yourself be yourself. But yeah, one of the signs is going to be your energy increases. Next sign is, I love it. Look, smiley face, joy, and the number is 30, which breaks down to that 3. So we're definitely getting those 3s and 9 of cups. Yeah. So smiley faces or joy, that's going to be a sign for you. And maybe with the nails, I don't know if you're like me and you like to be creative with your nails. Maybe there's something that you do with your nails where you create a symbol or you think of a symbol, something that 2626 on the clock means something to you. And you have it as a reminder to yourself. Maybe you do have to wear more conservative type clothing, but you let your nails kind of be that little playful aspect. I don't know, something like that. But you're bringing the joy in and being more playful. Okay, what popped out? Crystals, achievement, and this one is a 9. So again, 3, 6, and 9 tend to be the numbers in this reading that are coming out as important. And that tower is a labradorite. So connecting with your intuition, trusting yourself. And with the labradorite, the interesting thing is for this reading that when you look at it in certain lighting, it may look like it's only gray. But when you turn it and when the light catches it just right, there are flashes of sparkle. So again, you don't have to be like this colorful, like my tattoos and things, world, here I am, whatever, but that you can be more calm, measured, whatever words you would put to it, but at the same time, not lose that sparkle, not lose that part of yourself. And this is the growth. We've got that plant, and like I said, you're planting seeds. So this is you being able to turn this around, and now you're growing something. You're growing into what you want to be. Not because you weren't before, but because you're allowing it to start to come out. And notice, again, like I said, there's this background that is neutral, but this crystal shines. So letting pieces and parts of yourself shine, and that's achievement. Achievement does not mean that you reached a certain level, you got a certificate, or you set this goal and you achieved it. Achievement to me, is our energetic shifts. It's ways that we just kind of shift a little bit, shift our perspective, and some shifts are big and some shifts are small. Sounds like a tongue twister right now. I love that. Thank you to the Signs of the Times by Crystal Banner. We're going to move on to the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle by Abiola Abrams with these beautiful cards. And with some of the titles of her cards, I am not very good at pronouncing them, so I will apologize in advance if I do not do such a good job. I didn't even ask a question. That's okay. We have several that have come out, so we will see. The first one is 20 Soul Awakening, and this is the Huntress. The Huntress. Sorry, I'm seeing something in the card that is wanting to come forward. I mean, immediately I saw the growth at the bottom. But again, this is you're coming into the spotlight. It doesn't mean that you have to put yourself completely out there, but it's allowing yourself to be more comfortable in the position that you're in. It says Soul Awakening. I am going to go to the guidebook because there's something in there and I can't, I know it's there, but it's not immediately presenting. So I'm being led to the guidebook to kind of give me some words from Abiola to see what it is for you that this is going to represent. Ha! First sentence. Cycles are ending so that you can be renewed. So those cycles from the past are ending so that you can be renewed. And it's not that it's a total change. It's that your spirit, this is a soul awakening. Your spirit is coming forward and you are learning to trust yourself and know that it's okay. You are moving forward, or you are moving toward a new era and looking back at lessons learned. We talked about that earlier. This may be a season where you're analyzing your life. Signs and answers are being shown to you, but you must be willing to see them. This is just clarifying the message, guys. Ancestral memory. The huntress comes forward as Buffalo Calf Road woman, a northern Cheyenne warrior woman. She bears the wings of the honorable great horned owl. Ancestral medicine. Revelations are unfolding. This is a period of personal reckoning. As I read the next sentence, I want to have the Empress in my hand. And when I looked at this, I was like, I think this is the Empress card, because her, in the Secrets of the Ancestors, it correlates with the tarot cards. So you've got the Empress twice. This is you growing, nurturing, becoming yourself. Like, this is a nurture of yourself. Like I said, even with stay, I was seeing it more as stay as in you, like love of yourself. Yeah, so the sentence that I was picking that up on was, I've already lost my place, so please excuse me. This is a period of personal reckoning, pregnant with the opportunity of renewal and birth. And that's why I had gotten this card out. Because you see, with the Empress, we're looking at not always a literal birth or pregnancy, but that fertility, that growth, that birthing something. The shadow aspect. The ancestors have been trying to send you a message, but you have been unable or unwilling to hear. You're being called forward for a greater purpose. You have been playing it too safe. This is all what we've been saying. So this is definitely, other than the other two cards that came out, like this oracle, these cards, those are the last of this reading. Words are getting harder for me because I think Spirit is like, yeah, we're wrapping it up. All right. Yeah, don't play it safe. You are mired in self-doubt and bouts of shame. So if you're in that space right now, it's time to turn that around. Contemplation is required. Accept yourself, forgive yourself, and have more self-compassion. Oh no, the tarot correspondence is judgment. I was wrong on this. That makes sense because the angel with wings and the trumpet, whereas this is a flute. I totally read that one wrong, so I do need to pay more attention to this deck. But the declaration is, I lovingly release the past and make way for the future. So, while I did read that completely wrong, and thank you, Abiola Abrams, for your beautiful deck and the guide, the energy is still there. Like, there are messages and signs that have been coming to you, and you're feeling that pull, and you're starting. Like I said, with that Seven of Pentacles, I keep going back to it, and it was reversed. It's just you're starting, but sometimes you're letting yourself out and then you're pulling yourself back because of that doubt. The next card is the Peacemaker, persistent patience, and this one is a 14. So we're just kind of looking at that balance and, you know, the different colors. This card is completely light, but we've got the moon, we've got the sun. This is temperance. Yeah, with the water and everything, balancing those emotions, but still she's colorful and bright. She's allowing herself to be grounded, but she's also standing in the water. So it's just kind of that duality and knowing that there are different sides and aspects of yourself. And it's okay to embrace and honor all of those is the way this is coming through for me in this reading. And it's a 14, which breaks down to a 5, which is change. And then the final card is Mother God, miracles in motion, 42, which breaks down to a 6. And with this one, she is so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm pausing for a minute because look at this. She is just breathtaking. And then we've got all the planets and everything that are coming around. She's there. She's vibrant. She has that fan, but she's not hiding behind it. Like, we're out of that energy from that very first card, the Two of Pentacles, where it's like that wanting to show yourself with that vibrancy, but muting yourself and hiding it. And this is not hiding anymore. And I'm being called back to the guidebook for this one because it feels like there's so many different symbolisms and things in this card that it's important to read that. All right, so let's honor Abiola. Let's honor the ancestors. So this is Suit of Ashe, Mother of God, miracles in motion. You are the architect of your own existence when you tap into the wisdom of the Green Mother that you have within. Heaven and earth are connected through you, but still you doubt yourself. Believe in you now. Birthing miracles is easy for you. This is yeah, that's what I was thinking at first, but I was nervous to say it because I got the other one wrong. I had a feeling this was the High Priestess. Oh gosh, it is. Trust your inner voice. You're being divinely guided and you're much wiser than you think. Be easy and deliberate as you move forward, but do move forward. Oh, I'm not going to read the rest because I know time-wise I am trying to honor time and make these slightly shorter, but it just depends on kind of what resonates. But that's where the grape agate was coming from, is that connection, like I said, third eye, crown, that intuition. You're highly intuitive. You see a lot, you take in a lot, and you recognize the different aspects of things around you, but it's not about what others are wanting or expect or things like that. This is you stepping into your power, being authentically yourself. You are that unicorn. You are the High Priestess. Ooh, I did say magician. You're the magician too. Like, it's all within you. We all have intuition. We don't always use it. But lean into that self-love. Allow yourself to not be just like peeking out. I told you this was going to come into play. Not just peeking out through, but shine. And you can still have your guard up in spaces where you need to, or not allow your full self to come out where you feel like it's not appropriate or not honoring your own boundaries and your own willness, but still shine. Don't let anyone dim your light. I feel like that's been kind of a theme with some of the readings lately, but maybe it's a message that just needs to be told in many different ways over and over until we embrace and accept it. This is a beautiful message. If you'd like to book a private reading, I do have times available, and you're welcome to explore that or contact me if you have any questions. And until next time, I will still keep recording these general readings and channeled messages, and I appreciate you watching even part of it, giving me a like, sharing it, whatever, so the message gets to who it's needed. And if it's for you, that's beautiful. I am excited for you and your growth. Take care.